Hello friend, in this session we are going to learn about the do's and don'ts of a technical interview. So let us first start with the do's of a technical interview. Before bringing in candidates, tech team should meet and discuss openly what they are hiring for and what that person needs to be able to do, and then construct questions that everyone agrees will help let them know that the person can do the job. You need to have a plan in place. You need to understand what you are looking for. You need to have questions you have written down that you know the answer to, and you are trying to get answer back from that person that make you think that they can do the job. First, determine the candidate's motivation and then test their level of mastery and how well it fits the need of the team you are assembling. Conducting interviews on time. Try avoiding rescheduling of interviews or making the candidate wait too long. Introduce yourself. Encourage candidates to write code. Ask design related questions to tech lead candidates. Make the interview tough but fun to create great candidate experience. Promote a good and professional image of company. Inform the recruitment team in advance if the interview needs to be cancelled, rescheduled due to unavoidable circumstances, that is client meeting, health problem, or any other issues. Avoid no shows without prior intimation. Focus on what the candidate knows and is strong at technically. Only certified interviewers will be allowed to conduct interviews. Usage of technical interview evaluation template form and question bank to arrive at objective rating of the candidates. Take ownership of technical selection of the candidate, providing feedback on time. Post interview, the candidate should carry good interviewing experience. Create some common questions that you can ask to each candidate, such as question you can ask are what type of work do you want to be doing 5 years from now. So basically this question can tell you what direction the candidate wants his or her career to move in. For example, if their goal is to become a software architect, is it because they want to make more money or because they want to manage others? Do you write code outside of work? So this question gives you a little bit of an insight into whether or not this is just a job that they come and leave, or whether they really have a passion for technology. Passion and interest Passion and interest are often more important than having a few more skills. What's the best and worst software project that you have been part of? This question also give and mean to gain information about a candidate's success and failure. To me, that's once a real sign of how honest this person is in terms of accessing both their own strength and weaknesses and the depth of experience that they have on real world software projects. What role do you play in quality assurance? This question for certain developers have an attitude of I write code, I don't do test, or are an attitude that their responsibility ends when the coding is complete. That's one of those questions that shows me, am I dealing with somebody that's got an old school way of thinking when it's come to process, or are they willing to do what it takes and get cross trained to help a small fast running team meet its goal? Next question you can ask is, are you on LinkedIn? So while the answer is obviously and likely be yes, this question can get at a candidate's network. All developers are linked to other developers by a few folks. Word of mouth is important in this particular business. Now we can see the don'ts of a technical interview. So basically what to avoid a technical interview. Number one, the resume interview. Some interviewers only go through a candidate resume, asking questions about past projects, but nothing more. I am not really hiring somebody for what they did. I am hiring them for something I want them to do. Failing to focus. I have been in interviews where they will end up spending half the time talking about the football game over the weekend. That's a problem. Train your interviewers and make sure they know what questions to ask. Taking up too much time. As mentioned above, many tech job candidates have a number of other job options. An overly long or complicated interview may cause them to take your company out of the running. Grilling candidate. Bigger companies tend to have the attitude, this person wants to come work for us. Let's grill the hell out of them and see if they survive. And if so, we might hire them. All that does is intimidate the person and leave them with a bad impression of the company. Next is relying too heavily on coding skills. Certain basic technical questions are necessary to ensure the candidate didn't misrepresent their credentials. Once you get beyond that level, it's more about watching the problem solving process than anything. In my opinion, sometimes tech teams show an over reliance on pure coding ability without enough attention paid on assessment of software engineering experience or skills working with team. Don't overshoot the time allotted for the interview. Even if the candidate is not selected, interviewer should ensure that he/she doesn't hurt the self-esteem of the candidate while conducting the interview. If you are not a technical person, do not conduct a technical interview on your own. So in this session, we have seen the do's and don'ts that we need to follow while conducting a technical interview. Thank you.